Don't blink, it's your blink. Welcome to our show. Considering well, having a wonderful day on this 8th April 2025. It is a beautiful day outside. We've got some snow, got some coffee, I got some videos that we're uploading, and most of all, we have a beautiful sunrise. Okay, I fucked up. Okay, not a big deal. So today's video is the struggle that I had as a content creator. The struggle that I had because I don't know. Lately, I've been feeling very good. Lately, I've been feeling like we're moving forward. Lately, I've been feeling like we're accomplishing something. We're maturing. We're being more mature. And I want to talk about the struggle that I had as a content creator because it's the, how can I call that? How can I say that? Is the almost turning a page forward, right? Some of those struggles we still have, but at the same time is acknowledging those struggles that we had. And I think okay. So I've been focusing a lot, right, on how much we improved lately, and we've been focusing a lot about how much the content has improved lately, which are two great things, right? Two amazing things. But I don't think we focus enough on how did I get there? What happened for me to get there, right? I think that's also super important. So the struggle is a very good way of saying, okay, well, I was there, now I'm here. What happened here? So the first show that I had, it's not like I'm victimizing myself, but there's a ton of people that are younger than me, that are content creator, non-content creator, that are gonna be feeling the same stuff. And the best thing about it is if we're talking about content, where we can also apply this to real life, right? Like for example, one of my struggle has always been with the engagement, right? And then it's about the engagement. Why? Because we're competing with people, and maybe the content isn't great, but the engagement. So we're talking about views, comments, and likes, right? Now I'm grateful for what I had, but it's always been a struggle because I'm seeing some people do more than us in 1 year, and I'm like, why? But then you realize that those struggles are normal because some other people will over promote. So hey, go watch my video. Hey, just drop this, right? Some other people are gifted. They have connection. They have they're very good looking. For example, we had a reality show on TV, right? Occupation Double, which is a French show, and this show Occupation Double, the beauty of it is we're getting some people that are single, and then you have to there you go. Okay, we're good. Sorry, we're trying to upload some videos, so there you go. They take some beautiful people, right? So again, that are single, and the goal here, that's how dirty the screen is. I have to watch that. So they take beautiful people, and they're single, and then the public get to choose. Okay, well, who's cool? And then they have candidates. So for example, there's 20 candidates, and then we get to choose 12 of them, right? Now, what was cool is you could choose people for three factors. Are they going to be troublemaker? Are they going to be fun to watch? Are they going to be entertaining? It doesn't matter why you choose them. You chose them for a reason, right? Now, at the very end, we realized that most of these were friends or acquaintance of alumni. So people from previous season was like, hey, we're going to be pushing this candidate. This is my homie. I want him to be in the show. Now, a lot of those people were joining said show to get a social media career, right? So it wasn't really fair. And then it's not a big deal because it's a show, right? But some of those people that were refused were genuine. Were genuinely looking for love. They were genuine people that were fan of the show. Now, it's a question of. It's a weird thing. It's a really, really weird thing. It's a question of... Fuck, I don't see shit. Can't see shit. Who is more willing? Who is more deserving? Is the fan of the show more deserving, or the person that got elected more deserving? Ultimately speaking, you would say they're both deserving. Ultimately speaking, you would choose the person that was chosen by the public, right? Because it's a result of democracy. And democracy is the voice of the people. like when we're voting, we don't give a fuck about who wins. We know that's gonna be the same bullshit over for the next 4 years. However, we voted, and because we voted, even though we lost, well, we still had our voice. We still had a choice in the matter, right? So what I'm trying to with that, with the views, you're asking yourself, well, why is there less views? Right? Is that because my content sucks? Is it because I'm not giving the same opportunity than others? And it's a very small thing, right? It is a very small thing. When you write my name on a website like YouTube, the craziest thing is that you won't find me. You have to actually put the underscore between ink and vendetta, right? So right away, this is something that I should have thought of before. Then I didn't know. Would I change right now? I don't think I can. I don't think you can change your end all, right? And that is okay. That's perfectly fine. So this is gonna make two more videos. But at the same time, you're like, okay, well, maybe this is one of the reasons as to why. And you find yourself in a position of finding excuses, right? And then you're in the same position as people who gave up. Oh, I don't want to make content, or hey, I don't know what to do. But they're not putting effort into the creation of things. So they get depressed, or they lack confidence because of the lack of results, which is something that happened in real life also. How is this relatable to real life? Well, lately, I've been trying to find a job, right? And they're trying to find a job is, it's hard because you're giving out CVs, and then you get calls, you don't get calls. So when you don't get calls, it's like a relationship. She just rejected you, right? So that's a hard thing. But then again, you get people who promote themselves, who constantly self-promote. Hey, I did this, I did that, I did this. And you get people that are lying on their resume, right? And then you realize just how much of a dog world. And you have a choice. Are you a dog that eats other dog, or you're a dog that survives? And I don't know which one I am, right? So that's a struggle. Another struggle is time management, right? I think a lot of people will do the same mistake that I do, which is always planning for more and more and more and more and more, without thinking about the time zone, or the time, without having a time budget, I guess. So, for example, we're trying to lose weight right now, right? And in 2 weeks, we did some amazing results. The truth is, I'm possibly going to be doing the same thing for 5, 6, 7 months, which is not a lot. But then you think about it, in 6, 7. So, for example, right, with the weight loss, we are 240 pounds. We were 271 pounds. So that's 2 weeks, right, of losing 20 pounds, which is great. But it's an hour per day, which is 14 hours, right? And then we'll do 7 months. We'll do 210 hours, right? That's almost 10 days without sleeping. So when you think about that, it's not a lot, and it's for a good occasion. But at the same time, you got this, you got that, you got this, you got that, and then you're like, holy shit. For example, we were watching Shameless. I don't know why I was convinced that the show was going to leave Netflix. So I watched and we were playing game in the background, and now I'm doing the recap. It's been 3 weeks and I'm at season 7 out of 11, right? So it's a long time. And then, like, okay, I want to watch that show. You don't realize how much time it is. So the show itself, 11 season, right? 12 episodes per season, right? That's 100. That's 130, 34. 134, right? They're each an hour, so you do 1.5. So it's about I want to say 100 to 110 hours of watch time, plus the time it takes to recap a show, right? That's another huge expense, and you want to do it all. So, for example, one of the biggest things that I've had struggle with, I was planning things, but I constantly had to look up the window. Yesterday, as you can see, there's snow, right? We had this beautiful scene, and I swear to God, it's true. There was a snow, there was a black bird on the snow, and it was a snowstorm. There was a lot of snowing. I ran to get the shot. By the time I was out, the bird was gone. So how much time did I spend hoping to catch this bird come back to it? So time management is always super hard. Always super hard. Because again, and for example, we're doing this video, right? And we had a plan for the struggle, but I don't know how long this video is gonna take. It can take 20 minutes, it can take 30 minutes, I don't know. Right? We're doing 10 videos like that, that's 6 hours. That's crazy, right? It is insane. Another struggle that I had was, how intense are you? How much are you willing? So, sorry, how is this in the real life? I think we have such busy life. I had a friend at work, at PCT, and he was always tired. Or even fuck that guy. Take Shao, one of my best friend. Shao struggles right now because he goes to school and he goes to work. So he's doing 10 hours a day, right? Which is okay, you got 16 hours. But then there's transport, right? And that's a problem. So he ends up being supercharged. So when he has a weekend, he cannot do shit because he's so tired, right? So time management, which is 10 hours per day, is manageable. The transport is say 11 hours a day, manageable. But he's so tired that the weekend that he had off, he has to sleep, right? And that's a problem because he can't manage time. He cannot plan for something because he doesn't know how much time he's gonna have to sleep, right? Another one, how much you're willing to put in, how obsessed you become. So when we started with content, it was a cool thing to do. Then it became really cool thing to do. It was more interesting than the work. So I started thinking about making content at work. By the time we ended, we were obsessed with making content. Obsessed with making content, right? Last year, I refused to see my father, my mom. I would cancel plan with them. I wanted to make content, right? Which again, you understood, it's normal, but kind of a shitty thing to do. Kind of like a really shitty thing to do. You become obsessed. I lost sleep over it. And then what happened is we did a burnout. And that burnout was my fault. It wasn't a neighbor's fault. Nobody pushed me to work harder. I did, right? How did it relate in real life? You have this new girlfriend, right? And you love her and she's wonderful. Okay? So how much do we have? We have 10, okay, perfect. So you have this new girlfriend, right? And you guys spend every single day together. Because you love her, that's normal, right? But then your bros are like, hey dude, when am I seeing you? And like, well, I wanna stay with my girlfriend. And I think it's normal to want to stay with your girlfriend. I think it's a question of priorities. I think time management, what we just said is priorities, right? Obsess or priorities. You're trying to make time for everybody else. So for example, your day or your effort or your energy are a big cake, right? And then there's 10 people at your birthday party. So normally, you'd separate the cake in 10, right? 10 equal pieces for every single one of your loved one, right? But then you didn't do it. Some people have a bigger piece of cake. Some people have a smaller piece of cake. And you're the one that cut it. So what are they gonna blame? You. Now some people will be okay with having less cake. They'll be like, there was a lot of people, I understand, don't worry, bro. Some people will be mad at you, right? So that is something, because you don't want to hurt people. Something that I had a lot of struggle in was to believe in the dream. It was hard to tell my parents. It was hard to tell my friend, like, hey, this is going to be my job later on. I'm going to be a content creator. Because there's such a hard market to get in. It's such a oversaturated market, right? And people, not that they don't believe you, but it's like, dude, it's going to be tough. And like, no, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. My father, who told me, hey, you should get a job. I was like, fuck you, I want to do this. But he wasn't trying to be mean, he was trying to like, not to get my hopes up, right? So yeah, so that was also, I believe in that dream so hard, so much I believe in that dream. And I still do, but now I'm more aware of how much pressure I put on others. I have this dream that I believe in, and if you don't believe in my dream, that's okay. You don't have to. I shouldn't have to obligate you to believe in this dream. You don't believe in it, you know what? That sucks. That really sucks. But that's okay. In real life, somebody will tell you, "Hey, I got this new job and it's fantastic, but it's far." And you want to tell them, "Hey, I got this new girlfriend," and you know that girl, she's not a good person. She's a pot. And you want to tell the friend, "Hey, you shouldn't do that," right? But then you don't want to break their dream. You don't want to break their hopes. So how do you approach the situation? How do you approach the situation? Then you realize that, okay, well, they don't agree with you, and that's fine. You have to respect their opinion because they're entitled to it. Worst case scenario, you'll have an understanding and compromise, and then that'll be fine. Finally, the last one that I had was, I think it's back to obsession, but it's also back to reality, right? Back to reality. One of the biggest struggles that I had was, what's next? The what's next is huge. The what's next is the perfect way to end the video, but it's still crazy because you don't think about what's next. When you're doing something, when you're doing a job, when you're doing your shift, think about what's next. I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna have this meal, I'm gonna watch this show, right? That's a short term. If you were working, I don't know, if you're working 25 years, what's next? Your retirement, right? What's your plan for retirement? And that's too long of a term. What if it was in the middle, right? What if you have a kid? And they're your kids. For their whole life, they'll be your kid. You'll always be the father, you'll always be the mom. Right? And then at 18 years old, they leave. They have this new boyfriend, they have this new girlfriend. You're like, you know what? I'm good. I'm going to be in an apartment. You're like, holy shit. My kid just left. What's next? I think that's really hard. I think that's really hard as a content creator because you're like, okay, well, this didn't work. I have to do something else. What are we doing next? And I think that's a really good question. I think it's a really good question because what's next means it's ending, right? So those are some of the struggle that I had. There's possibly more, but I'm seeing the batteries and I have to go. So love you guys. Take it easy. Peace.